and Shirley. On the beautiful Prince Edward Island in the quiet village of Avonlea lived a middle-aged brother and sister named Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert. They had decided to adopt an orphan boy to help Matthew with the farm work. Everything was arranged, but when Matthew drove his buggy to the train station to pick up the child, he didn't find a boy at all. He found a thin, red-haired, bright-eyed girl who talked nonstop. She introduced herself politely. "Anne Shirley, and please spell Anne with an E if you don't mind." Matthew, though surprised, instantly felt a quiet affection for the imaginative little girl. But when they got back to Green Gables, Marilla was upset. They had wanted a boy, not a girl. Anne, who had been dreaming aloud about her new home all the way, suddenly realized she might be sent back. Her heart broke. Marilla took her to meet Mrs. Spencer to sort out the mistake. But when she discovered that Anne had nowhere truly safe to go and had lived a life filled with loneliness, her heart softened. She and Matthew finally decided to keep Anne at Green Gables. This marked the beginning of Anne's new life. Anne soon met Diana Barry, a kind and gentle girl who lived nearby. Anne immediately called her a bosom friend, the closest friendship she could imagine. Together they wandered through meadows, made stories from thin air, and turned simple fields into enchanted worlds. At school, a clever and mischievous boy named Gilbert Blythe teased Anne by calling her Carrots because of her fiery red hair. Anne, in a rage, broke her slate over his head. From that day on, she vowed eternal hatred, while Gilbert quietly admired her intelligence and spirit. Anne wasn't simply imaginative. She brought magic into ordinary life. She gave poetic names to everything: the haunted woods, the white way of delight, the lake of shining waters. Her creativity filled Green Gables with laughter, surprise, and sometimes chaos. One day, Diana came to visit. Anne wanted to treat her to raspberry cordial, but by mistake, she served Marilla's currant wine instead. Diana became terribly drunk, and her strict mother forbade the girls to ever see each other again. Anne was heartbroken. Later, Anne bravely saved Diana's little sister during a medical emergency, and the Barry family welcomed her warmly once again. Matthew adored Anne in his quiet, shy way. He bought her dresses with puffed sleeves, her dream, listened to her endless ideas, and gave her the warm fatherly love she had never known. Anne studied hard and soon became one of the top students in Avonlea. She and Gilbert competed fiercely. Both won top honors in the Queen's Academy entrance exams, earning scholarships. Anne left Avonlea to continue her studies and excelled brilliantly. When Anne returned home for vacation, she discovered that Matthew had died from a heart attack. The grief was overwhelming. Marilla also developed serious eye problems and could no longer manage the farm alone. Anne made a difficult choice. Instead of going to university, she decided to stay in Avonlea and become a teacher so she could take care of Marilla. When Gilbert heard about the situation, he gave up his teaching position in Avonlea so Anne could have a job close to home. This act of kindness softened the wall between them, and they slowly became friends. Aunt Shirley was no longer the lonely, frightened orphan who arrived by mistake. She had built friendships, earned the village's respect, and turned Green Gables into her true home. With her imagination, determination, and hopeful spirit, a bright and promising future lay ahead.